My name is Ezekiel, and I'm a spoken word and rap artist. I consider myself an artist that teeters on the lines of spoken music, wordy things like that. And so as a musical artist or a rap artist, I consider myself kind of spoken wordist. As a spoken word artist, I consider myself kind of hip hop. So a mesh of those two. I grew up in the church. My dad's a pastor. Parents both in ministry, always in church. However, I lived a life that was not reflective of that. In my first year of college, I met my wife, who also challenged me to live a life of integrity without compromise, which was something I wasn't used to. It challenged me to the extent that I knew the word. I could teach the word, but my life wasn't reflective of that. And she showed me that not even knowing as much as me, she was able to live a life sincere and walking in integrity without giving in and acquiescing to compromise. And that was something that challenged me to actually go hard and surrender completely to God. At first I was known as a rapper, but I was a rapper that didn't use beats to rap. I was noticed by one of the guys at P4CM who did poetry and said, "Hey bro, you're a poet." I'm like, "No, I don't like poetry." And he was like, "Well, could you do this for our event?" And I ended up doing the piece Almost Saved, which was my first poem, which I thought would be my last. I saw that God was able to use that, and I just continued to be obedient to his voice in it, and I see the fruit of what he's been doing through that. So and here I am today. With my music and poetry both in the same, I just really want to present people a clearer perspective on God and their response to the love of God. I want people to kind of get out of the mindset of how they've been programmed and be deprogrammed by the music and the lyrics. Okay, Touchy Subject is a poem about masturbation, and it really highlights the sin of why it is a sin. It was something that I struggled with even up into my marriage, and it's something that's a touchy subject. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's very taboo. Preachers don't talk about it, churches don't talk about it, but Christians deal with it. And so I took it upon myself, being a poet that speaks honestly. I had to talk about my own struggle, and I did that, and people have been encouraged. There have been people that have come against me, and by the end of the day, when I kind of reflect and show them the scriptures that touch on the subject, they sit back and recognize, wow, you know, I can't continue to live my life in a way that's contrary to the word of God. And so it's been testimonies left and right because of that. I like to hang out with my family. I have 3 beautiful daughters, my wife. I spend a lot of time on the road, so when I'm home, I do the most to spend time with them, even if it's just at home, hanging out, eating with them, try to work out as much as I can. Aside of that, I love to teach, man. Teaching is one of my passions, and I try to teach in any capacity I can, whether it be in church or workshops, poetry workshops. My life still surrounds the same things that I do, so I can't get away from what I do. Listeners can expect to hear both spoken word and hip hop in the near future once I save up and get it all together so I can get the producers that can do some crazy stuff for me. They can look forward to hearing some crazy stuff coming from me. My name is Ezekiel, and this is an artist profile on Jam the Hype.